Hey everybody, we have a brand new format for a show today that we have never tried before. We've never done it, Trenton. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be unique, but it's a little bit scary. Not going to lie.
Why?
Because you're involved.
Wait, I'm involved.
Yes.
Wait, what? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to explain it? Do you want me to explain
Sure, I can explain it. What we did, this is Trenton's idea, and I thought it was a pretty good idea.
Scary.
Yeah, a little bit scary, yes, for me. Not for him, I don't think, but, I tried to pick 3 bottles of whiskey that Trenton, I'm pretty sure, has never tried before. Not even a sip that I have here. In turn, Trenton is doing the same for me. Now, we may have some, in the reveal, we may have one that you said, oh, I just had a little bit of, or I said, yep, I had a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But it's things that we've never spoke about, bottles we've never spoke about between each other.
Right. Or done a video about.
Or a video or anything.
Well, yeah. So one of the reasons I thought of this, I guess, is because we have all the bottles out here. We're in a basement, so there's shelving units here, there, behind us, everywhere. And then in his office it's not like a purgatory, but just when we buy something, it goes into the office until we figure out if we're going to do a video on it, where we can slot this in a blind, etc.
Yeah.
So we pulled stuff out of there.
Yes.
And I don't think there's really anything in there. There's a shelf for budget stuff in there only.
Yeah.
So, of course, we've had most of the budget stuff. But anything that's on the ground, which is a lot, is pretty much fair to say that it's likely that one of us hasn't had that product before. And the goal, I guess, is to maybe try and stump one another, but also just there's so many bottles and we can't review every single one of them. So this is kind of a different format to do 6 different bottle reviews and give our own independent reviews instead of like a collective.
And it can't be skewed. Your review of your 3 choices there cannot be skewed because you don't know what they are.
Right. I'm excited.
Neither can mine.
That's
a little different too. So yeah, man. I mean, you sure you got them the right ones here, bud?
Yep.
I got yours, and you got the ones I poured.
Yeah, I took a picture on my phone of what. So when I because I can't remember more than 3 things at a time, and that's 3 things. So
well, I have a handwritten piece of paper for mine over here. So you know how that goes.
Yeah, I'll put on screen what we're going to be tasting. What he's drinking is going to be on his side. What I'm drinking is going to be on my side. I'll put it in the description because I'm really bad about that. I'll put it in the description. If I don't, just roast me in the comments. I'll take that for what it is, and then at the end of the video, we'll talk about what we're doing and everything. I figured we would just start both with A, and then maybe talk about it during, if that's not too confusing.
No, let's do that. And just keep in mind that we are tasting different whiskey.
Yes.
They're not the same. So I have my A, he has his A.
You didn't put scotch in here, did you?
I would never do that to you.
Okay, none of it smells peated, so
I shouldn't say that either.
You would definitely do that to me. What are you talking about?
But to answer your question, I did not today. I'll tell you one thing, this A smells delightful. And this has not been in the glass that long.
All these have been open. None of these are like...
No, but you know how I am. I'm a little bit slow with the nosings. You just got a little bit of a bad sniffer, and sometimes I have to dig for it. Yeah. Especially on a pour that's only set there for 5 minutes. Yeah. This one, boom. It's mocha. It's a little chocolatey. What are you doing?
I haven't even had anything yet today. I'm already getting all over the place.
So I like this one so far, bud.
This one is weird. It's really light on the nose, whatever it is. Nothing speaking. It's weird though because it smells kind of like it's going to be a higher proof kind of deal. Light nuttiness maybe. It's really not super complex on the nose, so I'm kind of scared.
I love the first one. What you think, bud?
I don't know that I love this one.
Oh no! Honestly, I'd say the truth right now. Actually, I wouldn't say anything if that was the case. But I didn't pick anything that I didn't think he wouldn't like.
It's weird because it's a lighter palate, but it feels like a higher proof, which is weird. It meets in the middle, which is nice. The mouthfeel is pretty nice. I get like a lightish raspberry, like you'd find like in the Special K, the cereal. Like there's a hint of a raspberry type thing or a berry type note, but it's mostly grain forward, pretty light, little sweetness. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I feel like you pick up the sweetness on stuff a little bit better than I do, which is surprising because I love sweet stuff.
Sure. Well,
candy.
There you go.
So so you would say there's a difference between candy and dessert, like in terms of the sweetness?
For me.
Okay.
And I like both. So
I could see that.
I would say so.
Okay.
This first one you picked for me, Trent, I think is a rye. I think so anyways, but it tastes wonderful. I really like it a lot.
I never thought I would hear you say a rye tastes wonderful.
It's not real bitey. It's pretty mellow. It's not it doesn't really have that minty stuff to it that certain ryes do. It's a little bit herbally, but it also comes through with some really beautiful caramel notes and things like that.
Can't tell if I got a sneeze or not. Man, usually when I look into the light, it helps, but not this time.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely get a little bit some herbal note that's a little sharp, I believe. Now, if I'm going to say all this and I'm going to be wrong, I'm going to be a little irritated. But you get a little bit of the sharpness from the rye, I think, in there. But there's some great sweetness in there, too. It's really good.
Irritated? Why, though?
I liked it, because if I'm wrong...
It's a good learning experience.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, buddy.
This is okay. It's not something that I would buy again.
Okay.
It's fine. There's a lot going on, more from a grain perspective than like an actual. There's not a lot of substance to this one. It's like it's light.
Okay.
Is kind of what I'm saying. The mouth feels nice. The proof is nice. It's just kind of lacking on the palate for me.
All right. Fair enough.
It's also a little bit lighter. So either
he's got to just look at everything.
I'm analytical.
Everything.
All right, on to B.
Yeah, B. See what I got.
Oh goodness gracious! This smells delicious. It smells like a tire
You
fire.
finally like something I gave you.
It smells like a tire fire, but like really nice.
Babe, it's a nice tire fire.
Well, you know what this is, but like, can you pick up what I'm laying down?
Pepperminty. I guess so. I don't know. I'm kind of mixing my stuff here now.
Boy, that's different.
This is weird. This is almost like tea, like a very light green tea. You remember that tea we tried last night, honey? Yeah. With the peach or something, green tea thing. It's kind of what it is, but not with peach. It's with something else.
Oh,
interesting.
I love the nose on this one. It's robust and like dark, deep. There's a lot going on.
This one tastes like a lot of malty influences to it. A lot of barley influence.
I'm struggling. This is something I feel like I've had before, or something like vaguely familiar. It's nice. It's like it's got this really nice, sharp, deep sweet note, like maple syrup, but not mapley. If that makes any sense at all. Like the caro. That nasty syrup that Mom used to get for the pancakes.
On this one here, Trent, you remember when we tested that one bottle, the old Portero rye 6-year, and you really liked it a lot. It was pretty different.
Is that the one you put in the same thing with that Delbach, that rye Sentinel one? Yeah.
Yeah, this is not that, but it brings me to similar experiences with it. And the more I sip it, at the first sip, I have to be honest, I didn't really like it a whole lot. Second sip, it's kind of grown on me a little bit because there's some play on some barley sugars in here that's actually pretty unique.
This one, I'm actually digging quite a bit on the back end there. It's got this really nice lingering profile. It's more of honestly, it's kind of a waffle-y type, but like a little bit more of a breakfasty, but not in a way that Woodford Double Oak would be or anything. Okay. It's more along the lines of just like a plain Eggo waffle with a little sweetness, and I like it.
This one here is I like it because it's unique. It does, to me, play a little bit more on the barley notes in there. There's not a lot of sweetness with the corn. You know, I'm going to say all this stuff, and I'll probably be wrong on a lot of it, but this doesn't seem like it has the caramel toffee and that kind of that kind of action. But it is a little bit bitter. A little in the back, in the middle of the palate, going to the back end, it's a tiny bit bitter.
Okay,
but still not bad. I enjoyed the sip. All right,
I'm gonna rank these, I guess, in terms of buyability for me.
Okay.
Also.
Yeah.
This first one for me, I wouldn't buy it personally. This one, I would be happy to have a sip of it, but there's something about it towards the end that gets like really woody.
Okay.
And it's something about it's a little bit off-putting to me. I'm not sure what it is. It's not. I don't think this is I think it is a bourbon. I don't think it's finished. It's probably like 110ish proof. But there's something. It's almost like a rotten fruit note at the end.
So an overripe fruit.
Yeah. And that's just maybe that's somebody's like a thing, not necessarily mine.
Man, you know my grandpa. You didn't know my grandpa, but he worked until he passed. I mean, he worked till he was almost 90. That's just who he was. He liked to do it. You know, it'd take him forever to do jobs, but he'd always have this old truck, and he'd throw his tools in the back of it, and they're always just ancient. You know, about ready to fall apart. That's why he liked them. And he would keep fruit in there for weeks. And when stuff was like and when stuff was like half rotten, that's when he'd eat it. He loved it that way.
That's like mom, though.
Yeah. Kent one time got in his truck.
I get thrown under the bus all this whole time.
Sorry, honey, that was just wrong. Kent got into the truck one time, and there was a rat on the floorboard because there was a hole chewing on the old fruit. That's the truth. That's a true story. People.
If there's one thing, this is just my experience as a kid. If there was anything, if you wanted some food and we were in the car and mom was driving, she'd be like, "Oh, check my purse." There'd either be a granola bar that was like just dust.
What do you mean just dust?
Like it was those Nature Valley, like the green, Honey and Oats ones that had just like somebody pulverized the crap out of those. And
he's walking down a bad path.
Or like an apple or a banana. The banana
I did have fruit.
The banana would be browner than.
That's when they're pretty good. I can't eat a banana unless it's got some brown spots on it.
No, this was all brown. It has seen better days.
About that, but I usually had an apple in there.
And then the apple looked like it had some dents in it. It just didn't look like it just didn't look like a good piece of fruit.
Well,
you don't remember the granola bars?
God love your mom. She's always prepared. I'll give her that.
I think it was in the Alero. I reached in her purse and I grabbed one, and I was in the back seat and I like opened it and it just exploded everywhere. There was dust. There was granola dust all over the place. So I made a note to really check the bar before I opened it to see if it was any good.
Wow.
Love you though, Mom.
Yeah.
Best mom a son could ask for.
well, thanks.
Back on track, buddy. Back on track. All right.
I like the nose on this.
It's like brown sugar. It's pretty nice too. A little more sweetness than what I got on the first two.
So I don't know if this is just me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Let me preface by saying I've been trying some Cedar Ridge stuff, some what's the Westland, some Westward. So a lot, American single malts I've been diving into a little bit more recently.
Yeah, right.
I usually get this bitter coffee-ish kind of note that leans like coffee, mocha, dark chocolate, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I get this on the nose.
Okay.
So it's either like a chocolate malted rye. I don't know that they've made a chocolate malt bourbon yet. I could be wrong. Or an American single malt.
Well, I like me some American single malt.
I know you do. You got me down that path now too, as if I needed to buy any more stuff.
I like that one too, bud.
Well,
not your bag. What?
I honestly I was really excited by the nose, but this goes to this like this place I do not like. It's almost like it almost reminds me honestly of how some finishes of like Balcones are, where it's just like really bitter and it's really dark. It's almost burnt to like a bad degree. Okay. This to me tastes like a burnt coffee ground kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit of dirt in it, and you like put it through a coffee filter. You made coffee with it. I had some coffee this morning that I'm pretty sure expired like a year ago because I ran out of my favorite one that's been in the drawer for a while, and it had similar notes as this is having. But that nose is really nice. A little asphalty.
I don't know. That could be nice. Well,
sorry, I meant on the palate.
Oh God.
No.
This one here is like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for me. One sip, I'm thinking, oh, that's pretty good. The next sip, I'm thinking, maybe not. It seems a little cardboardy.
Okay.
Just a touch to me. But then there is some sweetness there too. There's definitely that brown sugar sweetness there, but there's something else going on there. It's like almost like a bitter orange type of note going on in there.
Yeah.
In a darker way. I don't know. It's different.
Okay.
It's very different. One sip, I tend to go, oh, another sip, kind of weird. I'd have to spend more time with that one. Which one do you like the best, Bill? Go to your first to third real quick before we show everybody what we have.
Well, I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
I didn't love any of these.
Okay.
They had good aspects. I'm not gonna lie. I think C is definitely last place for me. I did not like it at all. There was the nose was nice. The palate wasn't.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm struggling between A and B because A is nice. It's well rounded. It's just a little bit flat.
Okay.
But B, like the palate at the front is nice, but then it just kind of like goes downhill.
All right.
I'd probably put A in first.
All right.
And depending on the day, it could be a coin flip. B in second. So it'd go 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Well, for me, I loved A. I thought it was fantastic.
Okay.
I thought that was the best sip of the night for me. This too is a struggle for me too as well, but I'm going to have to go with the same lineup as you did.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'm just kind of enjoying the barley notes that I'm thinking I'm getting on this one. This one here is like, again, I'll take one more sip, but one sip it's pretty decent. Another sip I'm not enjoying it as much.
Okay. I guess I'm not super surprised, but I know what's in those. There's no way we could have known what order it could have gone in.
All right, buddy. What's your first one? What's A?
A from the one that I picked for you was the Barrel Foundation.
Wow.
This is a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys
it's
at
not a rye
5
at
years
all.
old. But it's a blend, so it could be a blend of high rye.
That is wow. That's crazy.
You got a glass? I'm gonna try some of that. I haven't had this one either.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. That shows you why I don't speak up a lot, because I don't know what I'm talking about half the time when I'm guessing things. So that's A for me, huh? Foundation. Wow.
Well, I'm gonna put these down because that might be a little bit blurry for the folks. But here's the thing: I never know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I definitely didn't there. That threw me off. Okay. For you, A, buddy, was...
Dude, that's really good.
Was Driftless Glen Single Barrel.
This was number 1?
That's A.
Wow.
Driftless Glen Single Barrel, 96 proof, aged 5 years.
Okay. We did a video about Wisconsin stuff, didn't we? Driftless Glen and J. Henry.
J. Henry?
Yeah.
Did we do that?
Yeah, we did, I think.
Oh, we talked about it, yeah.
We did.
But it wasn't that bottle. That's a single barrel that somebody sent me.
Interesting.
And I got to get into it a little bit more.
Well, this was bottled by Angelica, so good job, Angelica. This is a good one. 5 years, okay. That's pretty good.
All right, what do you got for B now? I'm afraid to ask now. I was so far off on the first one.
B was, I have had this one before, and it was, well, I'll pull it up. This is the Clyde Mays 9-year straight rye whiskey at 113 proof.
All right, well, that's a rye whiskey, but there's some barley notes in there, or something's going on in there. Because remember, I told you it was reminiscent of the Portero.
Yeah.
Rye that I like. So I got to look into that more. I've never had that whatsoever. But it plays into... They must have done something with their rye grains on the mash bill here.
I was at Harry's at B Liquors in Portage, and Keith, my friend Keith, he's the distributor for Clyde Mays, brought one in, and this was a gift from him.
Wow.
So he gave me a little sample to try, and I was thrilled. This was like $65 for a 9-year.
It's different.
And I liked it. It was different when I tried it.
It's definitely different, but I kind of like it too.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
You ready for this one? I don't think you are. Found North Peregrine, 20-year. That's a $200 bottle.
This beat the $200 bottle.
No. I'm going Yeah, you said A was first, didn't you?
Yeah,
you did. Yeah, you're right.
Wow.
You're right. Yeah, that's Found Noir. That's a pretty good pour, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Bourbon Judge and I, Marcus, have had some little bit of messaging going back and forth on that bottle, and it's a pretty doggone nice bottle. I'm pretty surprised at this moment.
I'm not gonna lie, I am too, but like I just tried it again, and there's something on the back end that just ruins it for me, and I can't really, I can't tell you what it is.
Yeah.
But whatever was going on in here, I liked a little bit better today. This would be one of those things that I'd be interested to like blind them side by side and see if you were to do it 100 times, which one comes out on top.
Yeah, that was interesting to me. I know that. I thought that would be first. But
all right.
my third place in letter C.
This is the Lux Row 4-grain mash bill double single barrel.
All right. Well, I hate to tell you, but I have had a little sip out of this one. Just a tiny one. Just,
2 for 3 today.
That's all right. But as you can see, there's not a whole lot more left in it. And I was letting it air out. I wasn't a big fan of it on first sip either. So, you know how I roll. If I open it, I usually have a little sip of it, right? I don't have 2 ounces of it or anything. I just have a little sip, see what it's all about, close it up. And
that's what makes this difficult, because you do that.
But not all the time. I mean, I've never had this one. I've never had this one. All right? So you did really well. And especially when these are coming out of my office. So that's really good. So now that you've revealed this bottle, I'm not super surprised it's last place. All right, for you, bud, your last place doesn't surprise me either. It's the brand new Riff single malt.
Okay, so it was a single malt.
It was.
Okay. I thought I picked that up with that little coffee.
Cask strength without chill filtration. There's everything on this label seems fantastic. Unique malt whiskeys, sophisticated vatting of 5 unique malt whiskeys, encompassing 11 different malted barley varieties and a multitude of cask types. So, my friend Stuart helped me get that bottle, and I do appreciate that, but I have to admit, that's why I put it up here. I put it up here for a reason. I wasn't a big fan when I took a sip of it either.
Oh, you weren't?
I'm going to keep going back to it, but I have other American single malts that I feel personally I would reach for, undoubtedly more than I would for that one. I don't think in any stretch for me, because my palate's a little bit different than yours when it comes to single malts, but it's not my favorite. No, it's not.
Take this with a grain of salt, because admittedly I'm still getting into American single malt, so I'm still trying to learn what I like and don't like. I don't even want to go back for a third sip of this, because it's something is off about it. It's like very bitter. It's burnt. There's something about it that's to me rather off-putting. Something that I don't really want to give it a second taste or a third taste. I don't remember how many I took of this. Yeah, and it bums me out, because I love everything from New Riff I've ever tried.
Well, and if you read the label, Trenton, they put a lot of effort into this release.
They did.
Really did. And if you all have it, I've seen pictures all over the place on social media. If you all have it and you like it, I'm happy for that. I truly am.
I'd be interested
to see. I intentionally put that on your, not because you're...
You want to screw me up.
No, because there have been some American single malts that you really got into. This is really good.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see your reaction to it, because I even felt bad that I just didn't like it that much. It's not horrible by any stretch for me personally, but it's definitely not my favorite in my collection. That's for sure.
Dang.
So I know
that bums me out a little bit. If they do, well, I will say too, their winter whiskey I've tried. It was like chocolate malt and a couple other ones from them. I wasn't a huge fan of either. I thought it was a little bit too bitter. It kind of follows a similar pattern with this for me.
Yeah.
If you have this at home and you love it, I'd be very interested to hear your experience with it. If it opened up after a while. How long has this been open?
Oh, it's been open. Remember when Stuart came over?
Well, that was like 3 months ago.
Yeah, so it's been open for at least a couple months, for sure.
I'd be interested to hear other people's opinions about this, and I mean, really anything else on here. I know some of these are coming a little bit late. I know some of these came out a while ago, but we went through the backlog here.
Go ahead and roast me for this one, because I liked it.
That was really good.
I thought it was really good.
That was really good.
I was way off base in my comments. So there you have it.
It's fine. You were on par with this one.
Yeah.
The notes you were saying about this one too.
Yeah.
Reminded me of like a double barrel situation, but
that's unfortunately not my favorite either. So
yeah.
Oh well. What are you gonna do?
if you like this format, let us know in the comments. We can do it again. I thought it was pretty fun. I have some stuff at home that I know for a fact he hasn't had that are newer releases and not stuff that was made quite a while back. So if you like the format, let us know in the comments. Maybe we'll do it again sometime. And I don't know how to close out these videos, so I'll let you do it.
All you got to say, Strandon, because we care about everybody, right? And we do. Yeah. We care about our community and our SLB family, so we're always going to ask you to please drink responsibly. At all times. I know sometimes, that doesn't happen, but we implore you to please drink responsibly. And then we'll see you next time right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.